All right. Hi. So we are going to be programming today. And what have I got here? First, here is a little bit of music coming in from Suno AI. They just released version 4. So right now we're listening to Sally by Joshua Sodil. Looking at some dreamy pop coming up for the next hour because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do an hour. Let's start our countdown. All right. So what can we get done in an hour? And what are we gonna try to do in an hour? Uh, let's take a look. So we've got local host. Let's put this over here, maybe. Okay, this is the Boston AI project. It's a development environment. And man, I certainly wish that this was more of an app. Oh, okay. And everything's kind of broken on this development environment. Why? Because I just created a new one. If we look real quick, the Boston AI project is online here, bostonaiproject.elsevier.tech.com. And here it is over here. And right now it shows some crime data, some property data based on the center of the map that you choose. It's supposed to also have Boston 311 data, and that's something that we'll get into in a second. You can choose the new center somewhere in Boston. Let's say we're over here at Copley. Copley. There we go. Building permit. Crime data. So that's cool. And over here, there's a cool little crime map. This one's kind of cool. It lets you do like queries, functional queries to search for things. It's trying anyway. While that's loading, up next is looks like My White Cadillac by Bricktop. Here we go. Wow, that took a long time. And seems like it's not what we actually wanted. But hey, it gave us last month's something. Larceny theft from MB non-accessory. It's an interesting interpretation. We could try it again. Gives us a very different call. So that's the danger of AI. If anyone tells you it's not just randomly going to do something way off, or just the danger of 4.0 mini function calling. So the problem though is over here, this 311 case map. This is like not very developed. This was the first map I made, and it's got stuff, and it's got a good search function where you can search like anything, sidewalk, but it's pretty limited and non-functional, and the search is slow, as you can see. It's pretty good with loading like 4,000 points in a map, so that was nice. But then over here we get into the weeds with this Boston 311 cases. I think I'm just really sentimentally attached to all of this early work I did with it. And then there's the projects. It's still not structured at all like a product. So there's a couple things. And then we're missing the 311 cases because the data load isn't automated. Right now, I do something where I just run this daily export, and it just sort of like, it connects and it runs things. And why is it still running in Python and not on the server is server's PHP, so they're in shared hosting. So if I want to run Python, it has to be here, and I'm still doing that 311 prediction modeling thing. When will the cases close? But that's not part of the Boston app. So long story short, since I just ate up 5 minutes talking about it, we're trying to rip down this app basically, take everything out of it, make this the front page, maybe keep the Prime map, just as a prototype, pretty much rip out everything else. Put this on the front page and start adding like an address to the user. So we're gonna be looking at this whole project and kind of pruning everything. So from the bottom up. That's what we're doing for an hour. This is a new Git repository, so I haven't committed yet. And the idea is we're not going to commit until we've significantly made our way through things. So right now we haven't even run any migrations. This is Laravel. A little loud. And it's loud for me too. Laravel has a lot of structured folders as a framework so that you put things in the right place. So the first thing we're going to look at is the database, because that's the question. I know, like basically the Boston app is somewhere inside of this app, and we're just taking away the parts. And since this is a new repository, we can kind of be fast and loose and see how far we can get in the next 54 minutes. So here's our migrations. We're making a user table. And we already said that we want to add things like address or center coordinates. So should we do this right now? That's the hardest thing to decide, right? Do we start taking it into account right now and just try to fly by the seat of our pants and update things as we go? Nah, let's do the carving first and then the adding later. How about that? These next they come with everything. They're just for logging in. Now here's our 311 case. We want this. ML models, we don't need this. So, because we're not loading in ML models, so we're gonna delete this. But if we, we'll see. Things are gonna break. They're gonna break. The predictions table is also something we don't need. The chirps table, the chirps is like a social networking function. It's, there's just a user ID and a message. I have an idea that later on people could comment on 311 cases, but we would have to rebuild this anyway. So we're gonna take out anything related to the chirps. The crime data table, and create datasets table. Building permits, construction off hours, trash schedules by address. That's all crucial. So these are our tables, and that means at this point we can run the migrations. Because we are using Laravel Sail, it's in Docker. So we run everything instead of running PHP, artisan something. It's vendor bin sail. I could set up an alias for it, but I am sometimes don't do things in the most efficient way. Because if it breaks, it's more annoying to try to fix it than to just type vendor bin sail each time. Alright, so what are we doing with that? Oh yeah, artisan migrate. I think this is because I built this with the wrong credentials in the .env. So you know what I'll do? I'm just gonna post down. Oh, not build up, just up. If it works, I'll tell you what I did. How about that? Yeah, no. Do. Let's see. You know what? This is my first thing. We're gonna go to ChatGPT and we are going to just ask. Hey, I built my Laravel sail container with the wrong credentials in my .env and then changed them and now need to rebuild completely. See, I stopped them, but I didn't remove them. So this is just why I like it. We're just gonna follow this. Stopped and removed. Perfect. Removing any. Well, it's not running, so okay. Build and up. Part of this is showing that you can mess around and try to think through everything, or you can just clearly articulate your problem to AI and see if maybe it can give you an answer that you're like, oh yeah, that's sort of what I wanted to do. Will it win in a technical interview? Probably not yet. This is gonna waste a little bit of time, but that's okay. Because while that's building, we have some more deleting to do. So which controllers do we not need anymore? This one? Nope. We don't need the chirp controller. I wonder what controller is. Probably created one. This is a profile controller. And then models, we don't need our chirp model. We don't need our model, ML model, or the prediction model. The rest are good. Now the thing is, our 311 case model, I think it's gonna see, this one has many predictions. It doesn't anymore. So we need to take that out. Searchable columns, ID, casing. Okay, so this is done. So it's up to, and now hopefully, yeah, our migrations work. Hooray. So once the migrations work, hopefully, oh man, it's just broken again. Oh, right. Oh wait, no, so that's running. Our npm dev server is running. Oh, basically this is one of the many things that's broken, like no such file of this thing and blah blah blah. There's a lot of stuff that was gonna break. Like I said, we have to go from the inside out and just hope we can remember everything. Alright, so let's look at the searchable columns here. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, protect primary key, 311 case, relation. I mean, we can leave the import in there for now. You know what's interesting is it references the ML model controller. which maybe makes me think that we have to clear the cache like that. Same thing. Alright, Dream Beyond the Stars by Future Evo Lab. Doesn't like this. You know, I'd probably figure it out if I wasn't feeling the pressure of the clock. Let's just keep going forward because I had a plan. Alright, so the trash, we were taking out models. And you know what it is? Let's see. Because the next thing we had to do is edit the roots. Roots refer to models. Roots are under roots. So I don't think that, yeah, nothing in API. But in here, we've got some stuff. See, over here we're trying to import this ML model controller. It's gonna be mad about that. This one too, right? Oh yeah, we definitely don't need this. These are fine. The generic map, we'll see. And then we're looking here at, you know, which roots we're using that. This one, for example. It's a way to look at 311 models. Otherwise, and here's a chirp controller. I can't hum along, it won't be in sync. Also, it will be annoying. This web.php is where the roots are defined. This one, this GitHub analysis controller. Okay. And up here, the chirp controller. Hey, so now localhost is loaded. Great. Now, the Boston app is also loading. It just doesn't have any data in it, right? Same thing with the 311 case map, the crime map, the projects page, the dashboard, and the home. I think the first thing I want to do, I guess, is at least get rid of home and projects and make the Boston app the home, right? So we get rid of projects. Dashboard should really only be if you're logged in. And projects. So let's attack the front end a little bit. Attack. Let's prune the front end a little bit. All right, coming up next on Suno, Built to Break by Hey Mo. Alright, so our front end is over here under resources, JS, components, layouts, pages. So we look at our dashboard here. Oh, no. Oh wow. Okay. All sorts of stuff in here. Now we can leave the dashboard here and make it login only later. I mean, right now it will display certain things. The page template is what we wrap most things in. This was a while ago that I made this, but this decides whether or not to use the authenticated layout or guest layout. So you can wrap anything in that and you'll get, because you can log in here. But what we really need is to look at the authenticated layout and remove the options we don't want there, like dashboard, or at least comment it out. Ooh. And obviously chirps should have already been, but I think that's just because that only shows when you're logged in. And projects. We don't want this, but what if so one of the easiest things to do right now would just be but we want like when it's home, you know, we're gonna actually change. Oh. Like it's hard. How much do you take apart? Because what are you building later? Maybe you should have like a whole map of everything. That's true. Let's go look at our routes here. And about contact project 311 demo. And here we're pointing it right towards home. Battery's low on my headphones. Because here it's rendering welcome. We can just tell it to render. Is it the Boston app demo? Let's go take a look. So the question is, which component might we want to change the home route to? So we're going to go take a look at a guest layout and see it points to the Boston app goes to map.index or map.index route. We can, that's this one, it's get radial map. So let's use some AI. I want this to instead render this. As the, no, not slash picture as the root. Update as follows. I mean, yeah, I knew that. All right, fine. So we'll just do this. Goodbye projects. You know what? I keep it. Then down here, there's responsive nav links. For when we're on mobile. Crime map, case map, projects. Did that do it? What did I forget? See, the pages are still there, but now we have the structure we want. Except for we don't want the case list, case map, model info, or notebook demo over here. In fact, we don't even really want this 311 case map. Or maybe we do, and we just want to start editing it a little bit. Let's just do that. Interactive Boston 311 map. I think it's the generic map. Let's just go check again, right? Authenticated layout tells us that that is just map. No, it's cases.index no filter. And the root is called scatter. So I built these over the course of a while. Not a lot of consistency in naming. Let's check the web. This one, 311 case controller. Cases.index no filter. Get scatter. So we look at the 311 case controller. This is rendering 311 project. I see. So then we go down here. Yeah. So what we want to get rid of here is this div with the links to stuff. Otherwise, the rest of this is just this and then the scatter map and the div that has the search that loads it. And it says total number of cases, and then here's just some scripts for it. So once we save that, there we go. Our header is gone. So we're a lot closer to having an app that's like the Boston app. You log in, here's the page, you know, and here's where you would be able to interact with AI, and it would summarize all the events in the report, if there were any events in the report. So 30 minutes to get to a place where we've gotten rid on its face of a lot of the stuff we don't want. Let's go quick through the web.php and clean up projects, contacts, about, 311 demo. Actually, you know what? They'll always be over there. That's why we made a new repository. I'm not sure about that one. Other things, the profile is good. The crime reports, I don't think that's a thing. Because this is just a call out to a Google function somewhere. We're gonna delete that. And this. I want to be kind of brutal on the front end about deleting things also, but sometimes it can be useful. But it will get like this. It'll get confusing eventually, but there's not that many, honestly. It's not that big of a deal. Let's move on and try to get some data in here, right? So luckily we have app, no, where's the database? Here we go. We have some seeders. Yeah, a lot of them. Building permit seeder, construction off-hours seeder, crime data seeder, 311 seeder. Trash schedules by address seeder. And we're supposedly have some a command that downloads datasets for us. So this is downloading datasets, and it's downloading them based on a file. From the config. Here's the config. Here's datasets. Here's the datasets it's downloading. Looks like right now it's only set for trash schedules by address, but we probably want, I'd say, all of them. 311 service requests, construction off hours, building permits, crime incident reports, and trash schedules by address. Alright, so my headphones just died. Let's run this seeder, see if anything happens. Well, run the download rather, the command. Artisan. Let's see, what's the command? Over here. App, download Boston dataset. It's attempting to download the 311 service requests. Error. Failure. Failure. Oh. Well, it attempted them, but as you can see, each time it said no such file or directory when it was trying to file put contents. So that means that if we go over to, let's see what, var.h storage app datasets. Scrolling down. Not do that, because then your front end disappears. Storage app. See, yeah, there isn't anything in here that is datasets, and I guess the script's not that smart, so we're gonna go ahead and make datasets. And we're gonna run it again. And while that is running, I'm gonna switch out my headphones. Hey, it says it downloaded them. Sorry if this is loud. My headphones are right next to the microphone. Hey, great. Okay. Yes, they are the same headphones. I have 3 pairs of these. I think I connected to one of my many phones instead. Perfect. It's like a recorded Zoom meeting. Alright, we're back. What are we listening to in Suno? Looks like coming up next is Can We Stop by AI Magician. So we have all of our data. One would hope that these seeders over here would load our data the way we want them to. So where are they? We could take a quick look. So database seeder can sometimes, nope, it doesn't look like I've created anything to run all together. Trash schedules by address seeder does seem to be looking in the local files for datasets to seed the trash schedules by address. 311 seeder. Now this seems to be looking for stuff. I'm not sure if this one will work because I think this is one that is older and is expecting ML models for each of the 311 cases. Let's take a quick look at that migration. Yeah, there's no foreign keys in here, so maybe it was something else. Yeah, what's this gonna do? This is doing something. So I know a couple things that this is doing. It's definitely trying to process 3 different files. But it might be processing them separately enough that we can just take out the ML model and the prediction. Let's ask ChatGPT. I'm gonna copy this seeder over. It wrote it for me originally anyway. If I wanted this seeder to only populate the 311 cases table, and would that be easy? Or are the 3 tables entangled in processing? Okay, it would be, they're not inherently tangled. So just remove the reference to the ML models and the predictions, and only process the cases file. It's looking for a particular file in particular place though. Different place. It's looking in the seeders file because this was written a while ago, like right in this folder. Let's see if trash schedules works. /vendor oops bin sale db :seed class equals trash schedules by address seeder. Artisan. That's what I always do this. There we go. And it's processing. All right, so that table is the most important table because it's how we connect. It has all of the addresses in Boston and all of their GPS coordinates. So it lets you match up all other tables that just have one or the other into a unified. It's our magic pivot table. Let's try the crime data seeder. Class equals crime data seeder. Hey, it skips records with invalid latitudes and longitudes. That's fun. Okay, 2 down. I think maybe the building permits seeder could work. That is just a bunch of stuff that those are leftover logs from when I was debugging this seeder, I think. Sometimes the data didn't come out regularly and I had to figure out what's breaking in this. This one takes longer to process, I'll admit. It's a long, the building permits file is just one big file with all the historical building permits from the city of Boston. So while this, it looks like all of these are running great. So I think one of the ones that's closest is, okay, can you give me an updated script that keeps the processing as that one, but pulls the file from the storage data set like this one. Kind of want to merge like where the files are now to what it was doing before. See if I can get an updated seeder that'll work for me without much effort. Is one of the good things about working with Boston Public Data and ChatGPT is I think it's in the training data. So sometimes it knows like things about the data sets and how they're named and what the columns might be. I'll have to double check it though, because some merge like this can be kind of iffy. Let's first check the name it's giving. We can go look down in dataset storage, or we can look in the config. But either way, we need it too. It's 311-service requests. But it gave us this 311 seeder, so let's try it. Okay. Sometimes it is easy to get lost over here, but it's kind of fun in a way. So our 311 seeder is here, and normally I would make this one old and the other one new, and I'm actually still gonna do that just in case, and so I can compare the logic if it doesn't work. Alright, here's my seeder here. Still doing the batches. The name is 311, not 311 cases, right? We figured something else. Let's do array. It's filtering the files, and it finds the file. It's just processing the most recent file because they're named that way. 311-service-requests. Interesting. This one is service-request-2024, but it probably won't matter because it's just filtering where it begins with that. So as long as this said, honestly, if this just said 311 or 311 services. Now everything else I can reasonably expect ChatGPT to have inferred. Before I run this, let's go see how close we are to some sort of win. Do we have anything in here? Yeah, so we did get our building permits and our crime data. So we have, you know, even if we just worked into the crime thing and made this a crime map, that would be cool. Do we have crime data here too? Yeah, we do. Although I wonder if this is all the crime data historically. It's definitely this year, because I think that seeder didn't load in historical crime data, but I have in the past. So that could be done. And here we are. What about the address thing? Ah, good. This is what the street address is supposed to do. So then you can click and you get a new address. And here we are at 45 Temple Street, and we can see the crime is investigating a person, vandalism, and then the building permits are install 2 replacement windows, $2,000. Good for market research. Install 7-zone 2 condenser extreme heat mini split system. Big one. This is a $42,000 renovation. Cool. And so now if I say summarize all the events on this report for me, it's doing, oh, a verbal dispute? I didn't see the verbal dispute. Did it just invent one? I feel really strongly like it just invented. No, the verbal dispute right here. Wonder why it's not showing up in the map. Oh, it's right on top of the vandalism. Fascinating. They're exactly on the same thing. So there's a bug we just found because looks like there's, looks like the verbal dispute and the vandalism were maybe part of the same thing. So that's cool. AI found something and we, made us question what we were looking at, and we realized, hey, we need to account for when 2 incidents have exactly the same location. You're gonna just cover up one if you're exploring the map. All right, we have 13 minutes, and here's the question. In 13 minutes, what can we do? Is this Boston 301 seater gonna work for us here? Let's try it. Oh, okay. I misspelled something. It's service requests. So there we go. Let's try again. It did not like something. Truncated, data truncated for column latitude. Well, here's the question. Does it need to be there? Or are they all nullable? So let's look at our migration files real quick. So, not datasets, database. They're all nullable, including latitude and longitude. So that must not be the issue. Let's just throw it into ChatGPT. I want to not, and maybe this is too long. Sometimes that happens. But at a certain point, it just becomes about the efficiency. If it automatically was processing and gave me info, it would be nice. Hey, it looks like it wasn't too long, so... Oh. So if that was an issue before, then it must have been something it failed to fix in the old one. Because we can try reasoning with it. Why didn't the original seeder have this problem? Oh. Ha. That is true. Okay, so data consistency is a great point. one of the things that the Python does is clean up the 311 data and or remove things that don't have the right etc. So let me just tell it, you're right, this seeder had more clean data. So let's go see what it told us before I tried lecturing it. Can you put in robust handling of malformed values and types so the seeder works as best as possible? Here's the migration file. So we'll at least, we'll give it a fair chance, and we'll give it the migration file as well. I guess it's all just text except the double. Maybe that should, let's just leave it. Formed and missing. Okay. Some robust handling happening. Yeah, no. Okay. So here's the problem. I need to have not reiterated this so it didn't get focused back on the other file entry. Okay, validate and clean the data. Okay. I guess that's not terrible. It's not sure about the data entry, but let's go tell it. Seeders. We're going to the 311 seeder. I will say. I mean, we could just be less lazy. Nope. Here's how to access file. Waiting feels like longer, but it's not. Boom. So now, yep, we're running it. It's gonna process. There we go. Normally I'd be concerned with the way that this switched back to inserting them one by one, because that will take way too long if we wanted to insert all like 300,000 historical cases or whatever. But we're just doing 2024. So let's try it. go. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Still mad. Target class concrete does not exist. Database seeders 311 seeder does not exist. Oh, because it's 311 case seeder here. Alright. Great. Let's try again. Hey, it is seeding the database. No logging. So, do we just trust it? Maybe it'll happen in 4 minutes. As things go in the database, they should show up in the 311 case map. Call to undefined relationship prediction on app models. Let's go double check that. Or maybe that with predictions. See, 311 case with predictions. Nah. Just where? Also here. The get method is not supported for root map. Oh, did I delete this? Huh. Take a look at this again. Boston app is fine. Oh, okay, weird. Undefined constant. Huh. Maybe I messed something up somewhere along the way. I only have 2 minutes left. Things will break. But we've got some 311 cases showing up in our map. So this didn't break. More of them now. Great. So with 2 minutes to spare, we've done that. And you know what? Since this is breaking, let's just look at this. Undefined constant. Why is that? You know what? I know what'll tell me. Well, of course I did import it. But maybe this stuff. Or maybe I missed something here. No. 48 seconds. Oh, it says replace it like this. Static reference. Okay. It worked. Okay. So AI has saved us with a controller fix. It's loaded our 311 data and everything in. And we have 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 hour. That's what it took to rip out the guts and get everything down to a much, much closer place where we can now look to automating the data load. As you can see, it's really easy. We'll be able to automate that now that our seeders are all in order. We've got our interface right up front. And so that's hopefully what we'll finish up on Friday night at the Friday Night Dev Club. All right. This last song that we're listening to on Suno is Dream Beyond the Stars by Future Evo Lab. If you watched this all the way to the end, thanks for watching.